Hey, it's Kevin McCarthy, and welcome to A Day in Real Estate. Today, I want to talk to you about this form. It is the addendum concerning the right to terminate due to lender's appraisal. So, when you're using third-party financing, or any bank, in the Texas contract, the third-party financing addendum gives you an out if the appraisal comes in short on a house, meaning let's say you were buying a $400,000 house and the appraisal came in at $380,000. Well, you can terminate the contract because it doesn't meet the lender's underwriting guidelines for the property, right? So, in the last 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, this form has become a lot more relevant. It's been around for a while, but it's become a lot more relevant because of the increase in values, especially in the last year. It's kind of almost become an expectation in multiple offer situations to see this form. And basically, what this does is the buyer is waiving their right to terminate the contract if the appraisal comes in short, to a certain degree, depending on what you use in the form. So the first part of this form is complete waiver. And what that means is no matter what the appraisal comes in at on that property, the buyer will move forward. So if you're in a multiple offer situation on a property that's listed for $350 and you're bidding up, it gets bid up to $400, but the appraisal only comes in at $360,000. Well, if the buyer has a full waiver on there, then they have to come up with that additional $40,000. And the way that calculates, if you're putting 10% down on the property, let's say, you would still need to put 10% down of the $360 where the appraisal came in, plus the additional $40,000 to bring it to the contract sales price, because you've waived your right to terminate the contract due to lender's appraisal. Now, the way that things have gone, I mean, we can typically look at it and see if we think it's going to appraise or not, and it's a roll of the dice. Sometimes I've had people use this form and the property actually wound up appraising anyway, or it came in so close that it was a minimal amount of money that they had to come to the table with. Or in some instances, people are putting down so much money anyway that it doesn't matter. If you're putting 25 or 30% down on the house, then it's kind of at a certain point it becomes moot. And in some cases, the lender won't even order an appraisal if you're putting down enough money. Now, the other part of this form is there's a partial waiver. And the partial waiver, I am not a fan of how this form is written on the partial waiver, but basically the buyer waives the right to terminate the contract under paragraph 2B of the third-party financing if the opinion of value is blank or more, right? So what happens if it comes in $1,000 less? It just leaves way too many openings in there. Really, it should be set up as a market cap sort of thing. And in a couple of different cases, I've had clients who had written a clause for market cap instead of using the partial appraisal waiver, where they're saying if the property doesn't appraise, we'll pay up to $10,000 difference between the sales price and the appraisal. For instance, sales price is $400,000, appraisal is $370,000. The buyer agrees that they will pay $380,000 at that point, and all parties agree to that. And we've had that work out. But this is definitely something that we're seeing a lot more of in this market, and so it's something that you really got to be aware of. So if you're in this situation and you'd like to have a discussion with me about it, or you're just curious, you want to know, right? What does this mean, or what is my situation with the addendum concerning the right to terminate due to lender's appraisal? I'm happy to sit down with you and have a conversation. Kevin McCarthy, it's another day in real estate. Have a good one.